This is a story about the boys and I buying and selling our home and how God provided for us, not just where we need to be, but the many miracles along the way. When you trust in Him, He will provide the next step. The boys and I have lived in our condo since August of 2003, and it's been about 14 years. We were at peace living there, we were content living there. And yet, about 2 years ago, God told the boys and I that He had other plans. I didn't have the funds to move. However, in January, I received a promotion that was not just a 3% promotion, it was actually a 20% increase. And so it was kind of like, okay, God, I can see that you're now providing the funds for my boys and I to actually be able to move into another home. I looked up a cleaning service on Yelp, and I got a quote saying that it was gonna be $400. I can use my credit card. And then I thought, no, He's gonna provide the right timing. So maybe what I need to do is just save up for it. The man emailed me back and said that he said that he wanted to bless the boys and I and clean our house for free. And I immediately started crying because I could have charged it to my credit card and paid the extra insurance, the extra interest and everything else. But instead I stopped and I trusted God, and He provided. The people came and cleaned, and the house had never looked so good. With our house being sold, our condo being sold, or in the process of selling, that meant that we had to go find a house. We went through, and I'm not even kidding, we went through every single house and condo that was available in Northern Brick. There were times where we would get, have struggles because other people along their path decided that they wanted to move, and they just moved. And it was like, God, you have me on this path for 1.5 years. Why are we not moving? But a friend of mine shared with me that they're on their path and we have our own path. We went to look at this house that just came up on the market at the last minute, and we walked through this house, and it was like, this was it, It was just, this is where God wants us. There were 17 people that came to look at the house within like 3 days. And it was between my bid and somebody else's. And so I went up in how much I wanted to spend. The part that I was really concerned about was the appraisal. I had put in a bid, but I had put in extra money for closing costs. So if the appraisal came in low, I was gonna have to come up with extra money. And I just kept praying, okay, Lord, please don't let it be too much lower than what it needs to be. This is, I really need this to come in at the right spot. You know where it needs to be. When the appraisal finally came in, it was, only God. It was $2,000 over what I had put in, including the closing costs, which meant I didn't have to put any other money into it, that it was just all taken care of, just like that. I was sitting in the car waiting for the realtor and the home inspector, and the owner, it was a couple, the woman opened the door and she waves me in, and as I walk up to the door, she says to me, "I've been praying for you." And that was the first words out of her mouth. And I responded with, "I've been praying for you too." We just had a really good time of sitting and talking and getting to know each other. They had been living in the house for 40 years, and Frank, who's such a sweetheart, had kept tools and artwork and records and just a million things in the basement. And bless his heart, was trying to get it all out of the basement into his truck and then to take it to the dump. So I told them, please, just leave it. Just leave the stuff there. The boys and I and my brothers and family and friends can definitely help get this house cleaned out. So I had told the boys early on, I said, you're probably gonna have to sleep on a mattress on the floor for a little while. Just think that that's what's gonna happen. I had their mattresses, but of course we gave away their bunk bed because they were gonna have separate rooms. We were there and at Betty and Frank's house. The boys were helping Frank with stuff from the basement. And she goes, "Oh, do you need this bed?" It's a guest bed. It really hasn't been slept in at all. And it's got like six inches of foam on the top of it. And James just lit up, seeing that he now had a bed that was an amazing bed. And we're like, wow, God answered that prayer right there. Like, that was amazing. I had gotten a phone call from my sister-in-law, but I couldn't answer at the moment. And just had a great time with Frank and Betty that day, and went out to the car to call my sister-in-law back. And she says, "Oh, so we just moved our stuff, and we realized we have this extra bed, so I think you still need one for Brian, right?" And so God answered 2 beds within an hour of each other. And I turned around and I looked at the boys and I just said, "This is God. This right here, this is God. And He provides. And don't ever forget this moment. The house is amazing, and we're just so thankful for it. God's got it." He's got all of it.